Welcome to this tutorial of LEANalyser. Today I'll show you how to create a time analysis. Let's start by opening up our demo database, which directly takes us to Analyze mode. We create a new time analysis by pressing the Add button and selecting New Time Analysis. In a time analysis, the time is always present on the x-axis. And what characterizes the time analysis in LEANalyser is that the x-axis is dynamic, which means that it will present a suitable amount of information depending on the available space on the screen. Before creating the analysis, it's essential to understand how to define a data source for a time analysis. It's created by first selecting a table, then the date field, as well as with some periodicity, for instance months. In a time analysis, the measures are then defined and linked to a predefined data source. A new measure is created as follows. Let's select the field to be the order value. The result is then the monthly sum of the order values. Let's say that we've been requested to report the total sales per gender for 2013 and 2014. In the time analysis, it's possible to analyze only a subset of the imported data, which is done by pressing the following button in the toolbar and entering the requested time period. To be able to study the data for the different genders, we need to filter our data as follows. Our first measure will filter on females. The same procedure is done for males. Sometimes it can be of interest to visualize the data by stacked bars, which is possible if the data comes from the same data source. Press the data source and tick the option for visualizing data as stacked bars. There is also another option available, which adds the percentage values of females and males within the graph. Studying the result, if I think the value is surprisingly low for females in April, let's say, I can press the bar and drill down to the detailed transactions behind as follows. Further on, our report should contain the accumulated sales for each day over time. With LEANalyser's time analysis, it can easily be obtained. To be able to compute the accumulated sales for each day, a new data source needs to be defined, as the periodicity is days this time. Now it's time to add the measure for the accumulated sales over time in the following way. The source is now the source defined on a daily basis. The field remains the order value, and when we go under variations, we can add a running value and set it to accumulation from start to account for data before 2013, in this case the years 2011 and 2012. Let's define it for a separate y-axis to make it easier to compare. To study some specific parts of the graph, the zoom function can be used by zooming with your mouse or trackpad, and now it's even more clear that data evolves on a daily basis. Hovering on bars and lines yields the numerical values. Trend lines can also be added. Presuming this analysis will be useful and something to keep for the future, I need to install it. This is done by right-clicking the current time analysis, selecting Install Template from the menu and naming it. Finally, don't forget to save your database as follows so that you can continue from where you ended today the next time you want to work with LEANalyser. Thank you for listening.